so we're a little early, but that's okay. We are gonna do, this is the cutest, like, quickest wildflower pressed project. So, if you are like me, I used to put, like, if somebody gave me a flower and it was really, really special to me, I would put it in a book and I would close it and it would press the wildflower. Sometimes, depending on what kind of moisture was in that flower, hi everyone, depending on what kind of moisture was in that flower, it might even ruin the book because it would create a little bit of mold. So, when we ordered our wildflower collection, I was like, it would be so much fun to do pressed wildflowers. And so, I looked, and that's really kind of trending right now too. And I have my little wildflower pin, and I have my purple bracelets and my purple shirt. Anyways, so it's kind of trending right now. I've noticed, like, even the girls that I coach, they're always looking at ways to, like, preserve their flowers that somebody's given them that might be special. So I actually just texted one of them earlier, and I was like, look at this really cute thing that I did. And this is something I found, and I thought I would share it with you. So, if you are here, say hello. Hi, everyone. And I want y'all to make sure that you check your email on Sunday. There is a big announcement on Sunday, and we are so excited. So make sure you check your email. You will have a fun, I think we said Sunday, a fun email coming. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I've got my iron on, and you want to make sure that there's no, I don't want to burn myself, but you want to make sure that there's no water in your iron. And that it said on the instructions for it to be on low heat, but it didn't do what it was supposed to do with my iron on low heat. So you might want to start with your iron on low heat and just see how it goes. So I had to turn mine almost all the way up. So what you're going to do is you need wax paper, flowers, scissors, paper towels, ironing board. Y'all get to see, I have had this ironing board for 20 years. And it is thundering outside, and that's what you hear. So, I hope, I've had some wild and crazy things with my Wi-Fi, but I'm praying and hoping that, hi, hey Regine. I'm way far away from the camera because I wanted y'all to be able to see my ironing board's kind of low. So if I don't see you right away, hello. If you'll sprinkle for me, that would be great. So we need wax paper, flowers, scissors, and I'm going to put mine in a picture frame, just a picture frame that I've got. So that's why I thought if you had some sentimental flowers. I know at one time people did, like, turned roses into, like, bracelets. I thought that was really cool, but this is another option. If you have some flowers, like, that you might have gotten from someone or at, like, someone's funeral or something like that, and you wanted to preserve them, this is a really cute way to do it. Okay, so I've already done one, so we'll do that, but you need, like, 2 sheets of paper towels. So, like, mine has a crease there, so I'm going to get 2 of those, and then you're going to need 2 more. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of wax paper. It called for sheets, but I could not find sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own sheets. I went to Walmart, and they did not have sheets. So I'm going to make my own. I'm going to measure kind of this out. I want it to be about the size, where's my scissors? Here they are. Of the picture frame. So I'm going to cut, you need 2 sheets of wax paper. And this would be fun to do, like, if you had a group of people that you were going to give a gift to, that, you know, maybe someone passed, and you know, you never know what to do with all the flowers. And this is, you can get them a few flowers and give it to their loved one. Okay, so I got that first sheet, and I'm gonna do the second sheet. I probably need some new. These are like kindergarten scissors. That's okay. They'll work, because you're not gonna see my end. And I also thought that this would be a fun way. We might do a bookmark here in a minute for all my reading ladies. Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for sparkling. Okay. So I did that, and the next thing I'm gonna do, so I have my 2 sheets of wax paper, and I'm gonna turn my wax paper that way. Then you're going to get very small pieces of flour. I think you can do it with larger ones, but the smaller ones look so much better. And you can kind of, what I have found is you can kind of arrange them however you want to. Like if you want it to be flat, then put it on there flat. Like kind of arrange them the way you want it to look. I did with one of these bigger flowers. I kind of, can you see that? I kind of opened it up and kind of spread it out, and then I'm putting it down. Now these come straight from the bouquet, so you don't have to wait for them to dry or anything. You just cut them off and just spread them how you want them to look. I like to take, let's see, a few of these like a few of these. Maybe I'll come closer. So I kind of just spread it out like this, and then I lay that flat on my paper, and I'll kind of do this. So can you see that? Where I lay it as flat as I can, and I'll probably, when I put the other piece of wax paper down, I'll put it down on top of that, just like that, okay? And then with the rose petals, I noticed that for this technique, I just take like a petal, and you could put a whole one on there, but because it's wax paper, you want a little bit of space between all the flowers. Thank you so much. You want a little bit of space between all the flowers because you want it to be able to seal. And if there's no space, then it's almost like laminate paper. Then there's no way it can seal. So I'm going to take a few more of these purpley ones. I'm going to spread those out a bit. And then I'm going to take some of the green, like just a little bit, like a leaf. And I'll show you like one of these leaves. And then I'm going to tear it in half. And I'm just going to, I might tear it again. I'm just going to place it on there where I want it. You are the artiste. So you do what you want to do. Okay, I'm going to kind of show y'all what that looks like now. Can you see that? So everything's flat. And now I'm going to use my iron. So the next thing you do, I'm going to move that around just a little bit. The next thing you do is you place your wax paper right on top I'm going to have to move that rose petal down a little bit. Right on top, and then take the other paper towel and lay it right there. Okay, so what you don't want to do, which I did the first time and it created like air bubbles, is you don't want to press and move anything. So you just want to press and keep it down on there. And you can also, like if you want to just press them, the wax paper you can pull apart and they'll be little pressed flowers. And you can put them like in candles or, and then add the wax. Or you can just put these in a picture frame if you wanted to do that. Okay, so my iron's pretty hot. I started last time on a lower setting and it wasn't hot enough to melt the wax paper. So there's no water in my iron. I'm not using any kind of steam. You want dry heat. And you're just going to place it on there and you're going to let it sit. So the instructions said like 10 seconds, but I went back for like a second swipe. And I just like went down the line. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hello. I can't really see very much. So I'm going to bring that up. And I can already see the rose petal. And it said that this works better with smaller flowers, but I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. So we're going to do this, and then we'll do maybe a bookmark, I think. So the first time I did it, the first swipe through, I just let it sit and bring it up. And I can smell the flowers. And then the second time I go through and do it, I push down a little bit to kind of really get, you know, like get it firm on there. But I thought this was a really cool idea for people. I saw one thing where a lady had kept every, like a flower from every bouquet that her husband had ever gotten her. Sorry. She had a big jar and it was really full and pretty. I thought that was pretty neat. Okay. And there are going to be like, oh, you don't want to lift the paper. So next time I'm just pushing down this way just to make sure they're good and pressed. And because it's wax paper, it's going to seal it out. So I'm trying to just make sure all the ends are sealed here. Hello, hello. Y'all see my very old ironing board? Had this ironing board. I got this at my wedding shower 21 years ago. So she's just getting good and broke in, I guess. I'm going to make sure that we go this way again. Just want to make sure that all the ends are done. But isn't this a cool way to do pressed flowers? I saw another thing where they had made a device, and it was all these instructions on how to make this device, and I was like, okay, not doing that. But oh my gosh, it was like this thing, and you could like twist the nuts, and it would crank it and squish it. Okay, so I want to show y'all the little. So this is kind of how that looks. See how pretty that is? And then I'm going to put it, this frame is kind of old. I'm going to put it in, hold on, I'm going to have to cut this down just a little bit. I think I got a little, there we go. Hold on, let me cut it down. Just I got a little bit on the. These scissors are awful. Okay. Awful, awful. I think these are like safety scissors. Oh, that's good. Okay. So I'm going to put this in my frame. And there that is. So what do y'all think? That's a little, probably a little dusty, but there is, hi kitty. There's that. And so I think what I'm going to do next, okay, sorry, I had to cut some stuff off. So now I'm going to, look how pretty that is. Now let's do I think we're going to do maybe a bookmark. So same thing. I gotta get my good scissors this time. Well, I don't have, oh, here they are. Okay. So let's do a bookmark. This one's going to be a little bit smaller. This over here. So just cut out from the wax paper how big you think your bookmark should be. And then I'll kind of trim them up when I put them together. It's kind of hard to make them the same size unless you want to do all that measuring and stuff, and I don't want to do that. Okay. So I'm going to put these on top of each other. And then just cut them to size. And if you're making this as a gift for someone, of course, you can put a little bit more time in it to make it a tiny bit more precise. But you can also, oopsies. There we go. Do it just like this. Okay. And I'm going to get my flowers again. And since this is a smaller one, I'm probably going to do one of these, kind of fan them out just like I did before, like this. Can y'all see that? Just fan her out. And see, she's a little bit too big, so I'm going to have to cut her and kind of arrange her a little bit differently. But flat. You gotta think flat. And so these it's probably gonna be more petally. This is probably gonna be a little bit more petals than anything. No. And then you can like make it the way you want to make it. And I promise you, like something like this is gonna be so like, I feel like this is kind of thoughtful. And I have seen pressed flowers everywhere here recently. Have y'all? Maybe I'll do a little bit of the yellow. So I'm going to put a little bit of the yellow. Okay. Like I said before, make sure, and I'm going to show you this. Make sure you leave space this way. Thank you. That way you can seal it off, okay? So make sure there's some space in between the flowers. There we go. Oopsies. Okay. So now we're going to place, put this back over here so I don't knock it over. Now I'm going to place this on top. Okay. And then I'm going to put my paper towel on top. And this one I'll be able to just let down. So they say 10 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Is that how y'all count seconds? I'm going to do a couple more seconds for good measure. I'm going to do 2 this way, and I'm going to push down. I'm going to just watch my clock, why does it do that? There we go. Maybe one more for good on like the ends here. And you can put this into, what is that called? That paper that you can put but look at that, how cute that little bookmarker is. And that would just be my little bookmarker. So what do y'all think? That's a good, I probably could have cut the edges a little bit better. But I think you almost need a little bit of overlapping just so that way you know it's sealed really well. So I really like that. And then you could also put it in what is that called when you like laminate paper, if you wanted to do it like that. But the wax paper keeps it sealed up real good. Anyways, I thought that's really cute. And then you can use it as a bookmarker. And then let me show you one more time. I did I did this one with y'all, and then I did this one earlier, and I kind of, these are the rose petals. I kind of tore the rose petals up, and yeah, and did it like that. I tore that leaf off. But yeah, so really cute idea, inspired by our Wildflower collection. So anyways, don't forget to check your email on Sunday. We have a huge announcement coming Sunday. You won't want to miss it. Special emails coming out. So it's going to be really, really exciting. And if you haven't checked out our Wildflower collection, we have this brooch. Well, this is under the seashell collection. But yeah, we have some cute stuff there. So make sure you go check that out. Anyways, I hope y'all had fun. It was a really quick class, but like this is super in style, and I'm sure even like granddaughters would love to learn. Like I sent this to two of my cheerleaders that graduated last year, and they were like, "Oh, Miss Kristen, that's so cute," because they love flowers and they like stuff like this, so they thought it was really cute. And I was like, oh yeah, I was thinking about y'all when I was doing this today. So send it to your grandkids, send it to your daughters, your daughter-in-laws, your niece, your nephew, whoever, and it's for all ages. All right, ladies, I'm gonna get out of here, but thanks for watching the show, and it will be on YouTube. So we love y'all, and we'll see you later. And I am doing a live shopping show tomorrow. So bye, guys.